morning, everybody. My name is Scott Stringer, Manhattan Borough President, and I'm joined by my government partner, Melissa Mark-Brito, our City Council member, and the United Federation of Teachers, and the Community Education Council, and for people who are well regarded in the El Barrio community who've worked on so many issues from education to housing. We're also joined by a number of students and people who are very concerned about this very, very important school. But we're here today because we're deeply concerned about the School of Cooperative Technical Education and its 2,000 students. The DOE, the Education Construction Fund, and the School Construction Authority must stop talk of demolishing this school until there's a real conversation with this community. This school has educated a number of vulnerable students for more than a decade. These kids are getting the skills they need to get a job, to launch careers, and to build a better life. They're wonderful students who may have some challenges, but they deserve a first-rate education. And demolishing this building would pull the rug out right from under them. And this is at a time when they're preparing to stand on their own. There are further issues with this development plan by DOE. There's absolutely no community consultation. And when you think about what's happening in East Harlem, El Barrio, with all the development pressure, with all the traffic and congestion, we have not had a serious sit-down about development and education in a very long time. Why would the Department of Education launch a plan at this school? Well, they think that there's no stakeholders willing to stand up for these kids. And they're very wrong, because we're all here today. Teachers and students and parents, community, elected officials. We are demanding that any and all plans for this proposed demolishment of the school building gets halted until there can be a real community conversation. So I'm proud to stand with the community, I'm proud to stand with the council member and all the stakeholders, but we want to make it clear, education is for everybody, and land use and zoning issues impact all communities. And just because some folks may start a little differently in life, or maybe some communities don't have a whole lot of resources to fight back, what you're seeing here today is a building of a great coalition. And I just want to say to the school's chancellor, every day DOE is ticking down. Why would you embark on a development plan you're not going to be around to finish? You're going to leave this for the next chancellor, the next mayor, and the next community to deal with. So you're really not focused on this because you're packing. You're really not focused. So why put this on all of us, especially the kids of the school who are the backbone and the future leaders of this city? And with that said, let's give it up for the students, right? And now someone known to all of us who has been a leader on so many of these issues and continues to fight back every day, our council member, Melissa Mark-Brito.
I really want to thank the Borough President for standing up with us, really taking leadership on this issue. I do want to recognize that we do have a lot of our community organizations here that are providing vital services to the East Harlem community. We have our district leader, John Ruiz, and also we have some of the students from Co-op Tech here. I was just meeting them earlier. We have Jamel, we have Isaiah, and we have Randy that are standing with us to really express serious concerns. It's, yes. And there's other students here too. I'm sorry, I just meant that, but it's nice to meet you. This is a really quite an ill-advised decision. And I think for the reasons that the borough president cited, this administration is on its way out. And to embark on such a serious decision as to put public assets basically up to the auction block is something that we will not stand for. And we're saying that with regards to this school and any other plan that this administration has to put public assets for sale in the East Harlem community needs to come to a standstill. The community needs to be part of the conversation, and we need to make decisions as to what it is the future of our neighborhood. These assets represent direct services to our community. And when you disrupt and you break that, you're basically disrupting a very fragile infrastructure that exists for East Harlem. Our public education system needs to be invested in. This school has had almost, I think it was $8 million worth of capital upgrades in recent years. There's already been a serious investment made by the city. The school is in good shape, providing quality education. Why would we disrupt that and create a more difficult situation for students that are coming here to get a quality education and make it more of a challenge and more difficult for them to achieve that goal of a quality education? I was talking earlier to a couple of people, right inside of the neighborhood north of 96th Street, we have a challenge with the New York City Housing Authority, where they want to develop market rate housing within the footprint of our public housing developments. At a budget hearing recently, the Department of Health is walking away from the public health office on 115th Street and Lexington Avenue. Who knows what the future of that public building is going to be. Also, a public building on 120th Street and First Avenue belongs to HRA right now, is being put up for the auction block for private development. These are serious challenges, and we can't sit by and let this happen without our voices being part of the conversation. So, again, understanding that this administration is on its way out, I would ask also the contenders for any of these citywide positions, particularly mayoral candidates, to make a commitment that they will not advance any of these plans once they come into office, because obviously this work will not get done in the next 6 months. So obviously there has to be a continuity of this plan moving forward into the next administration. So we will be challenging the mayoral candidates to ensure that we get a commitment that this idea and concept will not proceed if they are to be mayor. So again, I want to thank everyone that is here. I think our community has had enough of being discarded, of being disregarded, of being left out of the conversation. And so, as we say in Spanish, basta ya. We need to come together. And again, I want to thank the borough president for his leadership.
Thank you. And for the record, pasta ja was my line I gave you this morning. So. Okay, next, thank you, Melissa. Next up is somebody who knows a lot about career and education. He's somebody who's been on the front line of so many of these issues, and he's representing the United Federation of Teachers, Sterling Robertson, VP, Career and Education.
Good morning, everyone. Now, obviously, we shouldn't be here. We should be celebrating, obviously. So many students are graduating. But unfortunately, as much as we want to celebrate on one side, today we're actually here assembled, community folks, elected officials, educators, parents. We're here because of an important issue. A decision was made, but many of the community was left out of the equation. When we think of a school like Co-op Tech, and we think about the amount of education that it has provided over the years, we're thinking about just the 2,000 students, but there is so much when we talk about career and technical education that makes it important on why this school needs to be intact. When you think about what students need, what adults need in terms of New York City and the New York City infrastructure and what skills folks need to be able to provide the kind of services to New York, this school provides that. When you think about plumbing, welding, networking of computer systems, culinary arts, all of these programs that have been upgraded in this school are valuable programs. Not only does it provide students access and opportunity to a middle-class lifestyle to be able to take care of themselves, it also provides the opportunity for adults to be retooled and be put back in terms of the workforce, which is all good for New York overall. And it's unfortunate that today, we're here today to be able to stand up and protest because we weren't part of the equation, and instead of inviting the community to have a conversation of what that looks like, what we're here is protesting the idea of demolishing a school for luxury high-rises. And I think the unfortunate part of all of this is, as much as the Department of Education talked about how we need to expand career and technical education programs citywide, This is only says that they say one thing, but do another. And this school, by and large, needs to stay intact. And the programs that provide for not just the students in this community and adults, but citywide, they have done a fantastic job over many years. And as the Vice President for Career and Technical Education for the United Federation of Teachers, we are standing obviously with the borough president and the community and the city council to be able to say this must stop, and we need to ensure that the community is part of any kind of development conversation. But first and foremost, the school should not be the one that first gets the impact of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And now let's hear from somebody who I think has the best perspective on this. One of our students, Isaiah, would you like to come up?
Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for coming out today. It is very unsanitary that they have to shut down the school right here, and so many students need to get their education and begin a career just to build luxurious apartments for rich people, and it's clearly not fair. So many schools around the 5 boroughs throughout the country need to stay on tap. There is no means necessary to be taking it down and then having buildings, so many buildings. And we cannot have that in our society. Students need to learn. They have to go to school, the education, continue a life, to build everything for themselves. But nothing like this can happen. And as we see, the mayor of New York City wants to come down and tear down this school right here. That students are working 24/7 for one goal, and that is society. So I thank everybody for coming out today. All the student staff, and communities. Thank you. Have a good time. I'm standing here fighting for the school because even though I don't go to the school, but I thank Patty for giving me a call yesterday and having me come out here because I go to another school which is part of Clark Tech, Brooklyn Step, located at University High School. It was a pleasure and my honor to come out here and support Clark Tech and everyone standing right behind me supporting the school.
We also have 250 signatures on petitions that we just gathered in the last couple of days to make it clear this is a community-based response. And I need new glasses. And we ask everybody to call Chancellor Grimm at 212-374-0209. Tell her you're part of the community and you want this school to stay. And I will be getting new glasses. And let me just also recognize, in addition to Melissa Marco-Garrido, we also have representatives here from Assemblymember Robert Rodriguez's office and State Senator Serrano's office and District Leader John Ruiz and other students here. And so this is a very big coalition. So with that said, let us answer any and all questions, and we'll be happy to talk to the press. Pretty straightforward. All right, we'll be updating you as events unfold. Thank you, everybody.